back to the crisis that we got pulled into. That we really have no idea what we're doing, and yet we're still
Oh wait, yeah. Mahogany
intent
wanted to
on
do something here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
intent on doing something about it, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with us. Because we came here to find Zook, and something like Swan Maze happened.
We came here to do a lot of things.
No, that's wrong. We came in here to do one specific thing, and that was find Zook.
That you did. Riot's got other stuff on the boil.
What?
When has Riot not had stuff on the boil? Why are you upset about this? Alright, and Mahogany pulls Riot aside at some point.
Is this before or after we leave?
This is before we leave.
Okay.
But it's like relatively private. And Mahogany says, I had an idea about how we could look into what's going on with me. But before that, are you sure there's nothing going on with you?
Like how do you mean?
And Mahogany will say, like, listen, no one else is here. Like,
right.
And I know that you were lying about wearing the ring before, and like you know that I know that you were lying.
Yeah, but no one's.
Is there a good reason for that?
Yeah, there was, but it's not something you need to worry about. Honestly, really, it's not something you need to worry about.
Mahogany will just nod and leave it at that. He goes, "Go." Before you were, it made me think of it when you were trying to figure out what was going on with that other person, and you got shut out. I'll let you write in if you want to look at what's going on with my thoughts.
It's not the next day yet, is it? Like we didn't take a long rest.
No, this is the same day.
This is actually pretty much that same morning. You guys have been busy all morning.
Yeah. I can't right now. I can only do that one today.
And in that case, Mahogany will say, like, okay, we can deal with that later then.
Actually, let me make sure that's true. Because I have one racial spell that I can only cast once per short rest, and one that's a long rest, and I can never remember which is which.
Oh, I thought it was a bard spell all this time.
No, Detect Thoughts and Mirror Image are my racial spells. Okay, Detect Thoughts is once per short rest. It's Mirror Image that recharges on a long rest.
So you'll be able to cast it again after lunch?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll take up on that later.
Are we just going to fast forward to that, or is there actual stuff that people want to do before we leave?
It's up to the rest of the party, I guess.
Nah, I'm good.
That dwarf that we met down south, was he from the...
You mean Bumram?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you cut out. Was he from where?
The same Dwarven Kingdoms?
There would be no way to know. There are several Dwarven Kingdoms, is your understanding. There would be no way to know if he's from the same ones on this list or not.
He told us where he was from because we were going to give his shit back to him, supposedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I say supposedly because as far as I'm aware, have no interest in doing that.
Okay, so after lunch then, everybody takes the benefit of the short rest.
I'll go ahead and cast Detect Thoughts on Mahogany since he seems so keen to have me do it.
And Mahogany, you're not going to resist this at all, correct?
No.
So what are Mahogany's surface thoughts?
Yeah.
Mahogany's surface thoughts at the moment are relatively blank. Like, you're just looking in and you're not seeing much. Every so often you'll just see something for literally half a second, and then it just goes away.
And I'll ask Mahogany, what is it I'm looking for? Because I have to look for something. That's how the spell works.
Try to figure out why I want to destroy the temple, and at that point, his surface thoughts get really chaotic for a second, and then just hitch. That's what's causing the skill problems. Is that it's like a record skipping.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll try to do that. Apparently, he's not resisting. So.
All right, let me do a quick read of the spell. Tell you what you're getting. So what is Mahogany's emotional state as far as these urges to destroy?
He's really concerned about them. Like he thinks that he doesn't. He thinks that he's changing, and he doesn't know why. And it's not because of something that's him doing it. Someone's doing this to him.
Well, those are his thoughts. What's his emotional state? Is it shock?
Concern,
Is it concern? Okay.
Yeah.
So you see that Mahogany is concerned about this change that's overcoming him. What direction do you push from there?
Mahogany doesn't know why he wants to destroy things, so I'm going to try and push, why do you want to do this?
From your point of view, it's always kind of difficult to ascertain why Mahogany wants to do any of the things that Mahogany does. But you've personally felt certain urges that have gone against your kind of personality and psyche. And some of those urges you've given into, and some of them you've railed against, and some of them you've kind of just incorporated into the rest of your personality. And the deeper you push into Mahogany's brain, the more and more you see this urge to destroy coming to the forefront. It's definitely there. It's always in the back of his mind, and it looks like some days it's just much stronger than others. I need you to make an insight check.
Okay. That's a 15.
The pull, the urge that is causing Mahogany to do, or to feel that he wants to do certain things, is familiar to you because it's philosophical. It's not magical, it's not biological, it's something in his belief structure that's causing it. It causes you to rail against authority. It causes Liberation to strive to be his perfect self and to help others realize their potential. It causes Serenity to act on instinct, and it causes Kelian to act out of self-interest. And you realize what you're looking at is a seed planted in Mahogany's beliefs by the Doomguard. And that's as deep. I mean, you can go deeper than that and see like sexual deviancies and that kind of thing if you really want to.
No, I think I know about all of that as vis-a-vis Mahogany as I care to.
But for the record, what are Mahogany's sexual deviancies? Just so we know.
I mean, he's pretty open to trying other people's sexual deviancies. He's not really sure what his own are yet. One thing that I think would be interesting about Mahogany's like thought patterns is that if you do look into like why Mahogany does other things to see how this differs, you see like incredibly insane chains. Like he's just like going like, okay, considering like a bunch of different things all at once in like this just like really short but really detailed chain.
So, do you do any pushing around inside Mahogany's brain outside of what he's asked you to do?
While we're in here and while he's not resisting,
Mm-hmm.
let me see here. Trying to think if there's anything Mahogany's been doing that I want to know about. Yeah, let me dig into what is he worried about as far as me.
Mahogany will have to answer that question.
Mahogany thinks that there's something causing you to there's something outside of you affecting you in the way you think, similar to what's going on with him. And he's wondering if it's even the same thing. And he's not sure what's going on with himself, so he's just been considering a lot of different things. Like he noticed that there was something in that other person's mind that she didn't seem to notice, but that was causing some kind of issue.
Okay. Brick, can I ask you, since you've got the spell language in front of you?
Yeah.
Let's see. In your reading of the spell, does it cause the target knows that the spell is working, that there's someone in their head?
Mm-hmm.
do they know what the other person that the caster is looking at?
I've always ruled it that way because I think it's more interesting.
Okay.
For example, if you were to use the spell to pull a password out of somebody's brain, they would know that you now know the password.
Yeah.
So Mahogany does have an inkling that you're digging around in his concerns for you at the moment, and that he's kind of gone outside of the boundaries of what he's given you permission to do. So I'll give Mahogany another opportunity to make a saving throw at this point if he wants.
If she's just looking at things, Mahogany doesn't make any saving throw. Like, that's just Riot. Like,
Okay.
the thing for... in this pops up, because you're now deep inside Mahogany's head, and you know exactly what he's thinking about this and why he's not resisting. That's just who Riot is.
Riot's the type of girl who would go into your house and look through your medicine cabinet, and Mahogany's just okay with that.
Exactly. Like, Mahogany's whole thing is generally working with people in the way that they're able to deal with.
Okay.
So if this is what Riot needs...
Okay, then the last thing I'll look at before leaving is what is Mahogany's objection to the marriage going forward?
He doesn't understand Riot's desire for it.
That's not really what I'm asking.
That's his objection to it. His objection to the wedding, besides if Serenity's not being into it, then that it shouldn't happen. His objection to Riot's take on it is that he has no understanding of why Riot's doing what she's doing, and she seems very, very strident about it.
Okay. All right, then I'm out.
So you come back out of Mahogany's head. I mean, nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah. This seems to be... When was the last time we dealt with a Doomguard?
Last time you dealt with a Doomguard is when Mahogany died.
I'm
and the
actually
Doomguard...
asking...
Oh,
Yeah, I'm actually asking Mahogany that.
yeah.
I don't 100% remember. What were you about to say, Brick? That Mahogany died and the Doomguard brought him back?
Yeah. The Doomguard priest.
Yeah, back in the tower. Valkyrie Dark Order.
Yeah, in that case, Mahogany hasn't really been thinking of that person as the Doomguard. So he'll just say, like, I think there was a Doomguard around the tower.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Gosh, yeah, that would... Okay.
So what is it?
This is kind of obscene, almost a little bit. I guess when the Alkayak Order gave you back to us, they did a little tinkering while they were at it.
And this is one of the few times that you see Mahogany just looks absolutely appalled. Like, he's done and seen some crazy fucking shit. This is one of the worst things that he's ever heard.
Even worse than killing 4 halflings?
Yeah. Because Mahogany didn't change 4 halflings.
Yeah, you did. You changed them into corpses.
They melted back with the plane. That's their thing. They were, what's that called?
Petitioners.
They're petitioners.
Rationalization.
Anyway,
Sure.
Yeah, that's what happened, as near as I can tell. Because it's definitely like a Doomguard thing in there. And if that's the last Doomguard we encountered and that we're doing magic on you, which they definitely were, it seems like they slipped in a little something extra while they were at it. But I don't think this is something that we can... It's not like... I can't cast Dispel Magic on like a nice level at some day. I shouldn't actually say that. I really hate having to talk about spells in this game, in character. I can't put everything I've got into Dispel Magic, and it goes away. I don't know how to fix this.
You don't think it's a magical effect? You think it's just something about my thoughts?
Now it is, yeah.
Then I'll have to fix it.
Yeah, I guess.
And now we're all depressed. The Doomguard's name, by the way, was Mr. E, for any of you who forgot.
That's right.
So the plan was to march down to the waterfall. Is there anything anybody wants to do before going down to the waterfall?
Yeah.
No.
I guess we should let people know where we're going, so they don't just freak out and say like, "Fred is gone."
So you let people know that you're going to go do some investigation?
Yeah, but we'll be back soon.
Okay. You are cautioned against going. That area is known to be especially dangerous, and even though you've passed through there safely once, now, because they've also now had a taste of what you're capable of, the general consensus among the Swan May is that this is a very reckless and dangerous act. However, they do not have cause to stop you from going.
Is there anyone who wants to come with us?
Absolutely not. Well, there might be Swanmei who want to go with you, but they will not be allowed.
Okay.
Are we going to stick to the same basic schedule, like 8 hours travel per day, resting at night?
It seems reasonable.
Okay.
Sure.
And are we following the river the whole time, or are we looking to approach the waterfall from a different direction?
I feel like a different direction might be good.
Yeah.
Just because not only is this the way that the Swan Maze, who they hate, would come, but also the way that we went.
Yeah.
The mechanical
Approach from
difference
the
between the
west.
two is if you follow the river, you're traveling territory you've already uncovered. Otherwise, you will be going through black spots, and we'll be doing like the random encounters and the scouting and so forth.
I don't know. Do you guys think it would actually make a difference as far as whether or not the Druids are ready for us?
I think anything we learn now is only something that can help us.
What does that mean?
That if it's going to take the same amount of time exploring new territory versus not exploring new territory, might as well explore new territory to get there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. I will give you guys some more of the map, some more of the surrounding territory. Now that you've spent some time amidst the Swan May, we'll go ahead and uncover their vast lake and some of the areas surrounding it. So if you're approaching the waterfall from the north, off in this direction, I'll uncover this as well, I guess.
Right, in that case, we might as well just...
Off in this direction to the east, you have very stark highlands and lowlands in the form of the waterfall here. These highlands persist all the way to the east towards the mountains, and it's a sharp cliff face, a sharp drop to the lowlands on the other side. For example, traveling from this hex to this hex, even if you're traveling far away from the river, would involve a long climb or a long drop. On the opposite side, it's not the same story. It curves around, but eventually the elevation goes down to meet it at a less steep... what's the word? A less steep grade.
Yeah, I think it sounds approaching from the west would be better.
Okay. Somebody take a pen tool. I guess Riot, since you're the leader now, you've just dictatorially declared yourself to be the leader.
No one has challenged that, I've noticed.
No, I object.
Nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Liberation totally objects.
But he objects only in the form of sarcastic calling Riot leader all the time, which is not a no vote in my book.
Just for the reference, Mahogany's fine with Riot calling herself leader as long as she doesn't actually expect him to do what she says.
So, Riot, go ahead and take a pencil tool or whatever you're going to use and mark the hexes you will be crossing on your path to the river.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Where's my vector ping? Okay, here we go. So we're here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is this And we're trying to get here, right?
And you're going to approach that hex from the west?
Yeah.
See, when isn't that east?
That is east. I don't know east from west. But yeah, you're right.
We've established this.
We have. Long time ago, I have video evidence.
Like, shouldn't it have been from, like, this direction?
Are you challenging your leader?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What is the outcome of that? Because I need to start rolling random encounters. How does this challenge shake out?
Because I mean, didn't the terrain's a little easier to cross from up here, from the western bank of the river than the east?
What, now you're worried about terrain being hard to cross?
We got to think about how to get back, about getting down there and back.
At this point, Riot will mention that you are a monk, right?
But not all of you are.
Oh, I can fly.
Yeah, I can fly too.
And I look at Serenity. I'm sure, so she can fly.
I'll fly her.
We've been up the waterfall once before. What are you freaking out about?
It's not particularly hard to climb.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Mahogany, are you doing your typical scouting as you go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. The first day is pretty uneventful. Mahogany.
Yep.
Make a perception check. Roll a d20 before you do this. You guys, assuming you left the next morning. If you left that same day.
Right. Mahogany doesn't especially want to destroy things today.
Okay.
Let's perception it up. 11.
You see miles and miles of terrain.
Alright. Doesn't seem any different than usual.
Alright, let's keep going.
Okay, so the next day we're going to pass through this here. Mahogany, you can go ahead and make your scouting check if you want to open up one of these adjacent tiles.
Don't especially want to destroy things.
No.
14 scouting.
And which of these tiles would you like? Okay, and this is the cliffs extending off to the east. So an hour or so from the next morning, an hour or so of travel will bring you up to the waterfall, approaching from the east. Are you guys going to be at the top of the cliff or at the bottom of the cliff?
I don't think it particularly matters for our purposes at the moment. So probably whichever's easier.
At some point, I think we need to get to the bottom of the cliff, at the base of the waterfall. But that is where we fought the Druids last time, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to get that close, you're going to have to do it stealthily.
Let's do the top for now, then.
Okay.
Okay?
And then we can always just go down if we need to.
Who has the lowest stealth score in the group?
Depends on when this is happening. If I'm an air elemental, it's probably not me.
Mine's +4.
Well, the question is how
Yeah, I'm
quietly you're
right
approaching
now.
the top of the
+1.
waterfall.
Serenity, then. It's always Serenity.
Serenity,
Oh,
make a
let's
spell
go.
check.
Do you want to cast Pass Without Trace here?
Yeah,
Probably a good idea.
we will pass without trace.
Okay.
Ha!
Yeah,
So that's
we'll
a
pass that
18.
too.
Okay. As you get closer and closer to the top of this waterfall, you're noticing more of these woodland structures that you notice traveling to the north. What you take to be like guard outposts and things. Are you engaging with anybody that you meet, or are you trying to steer clear as you get closer? Because you are going to come across some of these lower level like Druid underlings, the kind like the archers and things that you fought earlier. You're gonna discover them before they discover you with an 18 on your stealth roll. The question is, are you going to evade them as you close in or try to engage them?
Well, leader?
I mean, I'll decide for the party. Like, let's just evade them.
Yeah, evade for now.
Okay. And so you get very close unseen. And the territory gets more and more dangerous. You would count probably a dozen of these guard outposts in the trees surrounding the top of the waterfall. And by the time mid-morning rolls around, when you start hearing the roar of the river in the distance, and eventually you get to the point where you can actually see the river ahead, and crisscrossed at the top of the river, or at the top of the waterfall, rather, out into the water, are wooden and rope structures designed for quick crossing between the two. This is where the river is at its narrowest point at the top of the falls, and it only covers part of the river. Like, there are several large kind of rocky outcroppings just at the top of the waterfall. This would cover, these bridges would cover the main forest to the nearest one or two of these outcroppings.
Okay.
There does not seem to be any obvious entrance to anywhere. There are no, outside of the little ramshackle scouting booths you've seen, there are no mad main structures around.
I'll ask Serenity. Coming out here was kind of your idea. What did you want to accomplish?
Should I don't actually know how Druidic magic works. I'm assuming that Mahogany would know if there was anything special about the place or anything we should be doing.
Well, there's a lot of
I
different-
only asked
Well,
because I
out
wanted
there.
to know what you wanted to do before I did my thing.
I think we should at least attempt to commune with nature and figure out what's going on here.
Okay.
Are you doing that as a ritual?
Yeah, both Serenity and I. Oh, Serenity, do you cast it as a ritual?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then might as well do it as a ritual. We can both do it, and then we can ask more questions.
Who's looking out for the 10 minutes while these rituals are going on?
I'll look out.
Yeah, right. Well, as well.
Oh, Riot's taking a watch.
Yeah, for once.
The great leader deigns to do the groundwork, I see.
And Riot,
Are you chaotic?
Riot tells Liberation, look, keeping that tent up takes a lot of concentration. This is a lie. It's not a concentration.
Concentrating really hard when you pass out, I see.
It's a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
Serenity,
Hashtag just magic things.
what questions are you asking in your communal?
Let me give it the list here.
Find out if there's any bodies of water.
I'll look for structures. I'll look for powerful Fae, and I'll look for 31 other planar influences.
Okay. As far as structures, the only pinging you get are the little scouting stations that you've seen, built up in the treetops, camouflaged with foliage so as not to be seen. Very notably, this runs counter to what you were told by Arindu, that there were structures behind and underneath the waterfall where she was held captive. You're not pinging any structures underground, behind the falls, etc. Fey influence, you get the standard answer you've been getting the whole time. The entire forest is very strongly influenced by the Fey. There is however, a very recent and familiar tinge of evil Fey influence in the area, along the lines of a hag who may or may not have fled here after being chased away from the lake. And other planar influence, I'm going to have to make a ruling on this, I suppose. Make a portal sense check.
$15.
The influences, the natural influences that you're communing with to give answers to you, consider the portals in and behind the waterfall to be a great evil, a force of great destruction. Your read on this is that it doesn't matter where the portals go to. Just the fact there's a hole to another dimension nearby is considered unnatural. What you gather from your commune, though, are a series of incantations that act as portal keys. And these portals are in and around the waterfall somewhere. Mahogany, can you do better than Serenity did?
I want to know about elemental influence. I want to know about any peoples nearby. And I want to know if there's any branches. I actually am going to ask about. I want to know if there's any branches of the body of water.
Okay.
Because as far as I've heard, there's shit going down with the water passing through,
Mhm.
and I want to know if there's something else feeding into it.
As far as the peoples in the area, very easy. I mean, druids. You don't get a good sense of their number because they shroud themselves from natural eyes a lot of the time. So it's hard to get a sense of how many there are, but there's a lot of activity in and around here. Notably, a huge battle a week or so ago at the base of the waterfall.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it probably didn't happen. Elemental influence. Again, you're getting a sense that the natural spirits here consider it to be a great evil, but the people here are raising elemental creatures and corrupting them in bizarre ways. For example, if they were to summon an earth elemental, you would get that information. But what they're doing is they're summoning something similar to an earth elemental that the earth would reject if given the chance. And you want to know if there's another branch to the river?
Yeah.
Not this far north, but there are smaller flows of water that break away from the river that flow through tiny tributaries underground in tiny cavities in the I don't remember my terminology here. In like the drain, whatever, the water draining through the earth behind the waterfall.
All right. Do I get any sense of why the water here is providing power?
No.
Okay. And what the thing that I'll bring up when I mention this to the party when I got out of it,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to at least we know that there's not like more evil spirits assisting these people. They want these people gone.
All right. I guess it's my turn then.
Uh-oh.
Riot lifts her fork and casts Divination.
Divination. Have we gone through this before?
I feel like you
Once.
should get advantage because you're literally divining about water.
Yep. But there's no roll involved.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I cast a spell, I was trying to figure out how to get back to my party when
Right, when Aunt Nancy was
Aunt
mad at
Nancy
you.
sent me 100 miles away.
Yeah, Nancy was mad.
What question do you ask of Osprey?
Where did the Druids spoiling these lands hide themselves?
Now, you have to ask about a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days.
Right, because I figure pretty soon we will be going to fight them one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to fight them, I have to know where they are.
So is that how you present it to Osprey? We want to take the battle to these druids. Where do we find them?
Right.
Okay. What does Riot know about the plane of Arborea?
Arborea. That's the chaotic good one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured it's just like she used to be chaotic good, and she always kind of like. It was one of those things where it's like, you know how you ask people if you could ever go on vacation somewhere, you know, what country would you go to? And it's like, oh, I go to London, or it's like, oh, I'd visit Japan. Riot has never been off Sigil before joining up with the Plane Talkers, but she would go to Arborea.
Okay.
Wait a
So
second
she's-
here. Was Riot into the chaotic good aesthetic?
What?
She was just like, yeah, I'm chaotic good.
Yeah.
I want to do all the chaotic good things, like go to
Yeah.
Arborea.
Sure.
Okay.
But so she's read up on it. It's like kind of the way that you read like travel guides and brochures for that kind of vacation you have planning someday. She knows a bit about it.
I don't know what you know
You
about
receive a
chaotic
vision.
good lands, but I'm an expert.
You receive a vision of this waterfall from the south. How you perceived it after the battle as you were traveling north.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not seeing it as it flows on the prime material plane. The immediate trigger in your head says that this waterfall somehow flows through Arborea because you've read the brochures, you know, the vacation
Right.
guides, everything you imagine Arborea to be. Everything's more colorful. The water is wetter. The skies are deeper. And you're watching this waterfall flow, and it looks just so much more vivid and alive. And then, in the blink of an eye, you hear a thunderclap, and lightning splits the sky. And the waterfall, you're seeing the same waterfall, but now instead of seeing this very vivid and arboreal image of it, you're seeing it shrouded in shadow. The sky vanishes, turns inky black, and you're seeing the waterfall illuminated from within by a dim, pale light. And you hear the sound of the water slowly subside as you realize the water is freezing into ice. And when it stops flowing entirely, you're sitting there in silence, and you realize you're in a place so evil it must be the Abyss. And you have been to the Abyss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's Osprey's answer to you.
Okay. All right.
There's no going to the Abyss.
Unless you don't. All right, now I'll tell the others. I think Ostrom is telling me that there's a portal here somewhere to the Abyss, and that's where they're hiding themselves.
I got from the nature spirits, the earth told me some potential portal keys, but I'm not exactly sure that they are. Maybe if I look more closely, I would be able to sense them.
And
It might be the waterfall itself, for all I know.
yeah, and I'll mention that. Like, I didn't see any other cuttings away of the water, so if it's through the water, there's only one place to look.
And Riot will once again look at Serenity and says, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask this. But knowing now that to send an army after them, that our choices now are deforest the land, send an army of Swanmei into the Abyss to fight their war, or to get married. Are you still not going to get married?
I still see getting married as not doing anything.
All right. That's the last time I'm going to ask then. Sure.
So what's next, having gleaned this information from the waterfall?
Well, from what we've gathered, they've made some kind of connection between the Abyss and this place, right?
Sure,
Right.
looks that
How
way.
how much info did you give us about what you saw? Did you just tell us your interpretation of it, or did you give us the whole thing?
I would have given you the whole thing and then given you my interpretation of it.
Okay. And I'll say, well, it seems like they've made some kind of connection between here and the Abyss. And the druids, or at least the problem, is coming from that connection. Talking to the land, it would be very happy to help us get rid of that connection if we knew how. Can't that be the solution? We just get rid of that connection, and then that's it. Druids can have fun in the Abyss. It sucks there, but good for them.
Well, actually, so I guess I'm assuming saying this that the other two told us the results of, shared all the results of their stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's weird that you didn't feel any planar influence from either Arborea or the Abyss here. Doesn't that seem weird?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all Ostrom showed me was here's an arboreal thing, here's a thunder and a little glowing light and a bunch of ice, and then here's the Abyss. But neither of you got any of that impression for the land.
I saw corruption. That could be abyssal corruption.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, I didn't see specifically the Abyss. I mean, we can ask again. I'm assuming we know something about how the spell divination works. I mean, Mahogany will just say, like, it's...
I would
it's
assume
not
no
like
such
your
thing.
Because Riot tells us all kinds of stupid shit.
Riot just, like, looks a little shifty and says, Ostrom doesn't really like me to cast this too often.
Yeah, like, we can ask as many times as we want. It's just a nice chat for us.
So are you going to... Okay, are you going to do the ritual again? And commune
Yeah,
with
I think
nature?
we should do the ritual again. This time specifically looking for abyssal and...
I mean, I can only do it once a day, so that's all you.
Oh, well, then I'll do it again.
Okay, liberation.
Keep the watch out. Yeah.
Make me a perception check.
How close are we to the waterfall itself right now?
You guys are right at the top of the waterfall.
Okay.
Like when you guys are conversing, you're close enough that you have to talk over the roar of the falls.
That's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Liberation, make me a dexterity saving throw.
You gonna tell me an 8 doesn't do it?
That 20.
Surprised he got an 8. Okay. Liberation.
Hey.
A head rolls out of the tree line, out from the brambles and the brush. And you are being on your best watch. I mean, you might be momentarily distracted because you heard the word abyss bandied around. Motherfucker, I don't want to go to the abyss. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But a
you can
head
run there.
rolls swiftly out of the brush. A severed goddamn head. And you just have enough time to realize that, first of all, that's not what a head's supposed to do. And second of all, does this head look a little green and sickly to anybody else before it rolls up to your feet and explodes? And you dive backwards out of the brunt of the explosion. And there is just this green, wild goo covering the area where you were standing. And as you're watching, just before your eyes, little fungal sprouts pop up out of the earth where the ooze touches, or where the ooze touches the soil and the grass.
We got company.
What's next?
Should we be making initiative throws now or no?
Depends on what you say next.
Probably time to go then.
Yep, time to get out of here.
I think. Sorry, Mahogany. I think we've got all the intel we're going to get from this trip.
Yeah, and I'll say next time we can just stay 3 miles away.
What's the marching order and what direction are you guys fleeing from here? I mean, Riot's the leader now, right? So Riot's out front?
Yeah, so Riot's out front, sure.
Okay.
I'll bring up the rear.
I'm gonna take out a side view.
And what
Riot's
direction?
gonna
Are you going the same
Riot's gonna
direction you came from?
Riot's going to ask for Mahogany to take up the rear because I think he has better perception skills than Liberation.
Alright.
One
That makes
low
sense.
roll, and your typecast is having bad perception for the rest of the game.
Well, I think Liberation actually does have bad perception. What's your perception, Liberation?
3.
Yeah.
I just remember describing Mahogany after perception checks, just saying, yep, you just see miles of terrain all around.
One low roll and the DM typecasts me as low perception.
It's my only joy in life. All right, so we got a marching order over here. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other question?
I didn't have one.
Oh,
For
okay.
the time being.
It's not because she's the leader. Riot's always the first to run away.
No, what direction are you leaving? Are you leaving the same direction as you came?
I don't think there's a reason to like do this little J joint anymore. Let's just get straight here. But otherwise, yeah, the same way.
Gotcha. How much longer do you guys have on Pass Without Trace?
Let's see. You cast the ritual twice, so that's 20 minutes.
Yeah. Plus however long it took us to sneak up on the waterfall, so we probably have another half hour.
Okay. Go ahead and make me Serenity. Make me a stealth check. Make it a disadvantage, but apply your Pass Without Trace. And this is just gonna kind of symbolize that you have Pass Without Trace for part of this excursion.
21.
21. That's a disadvantage. Wow. Okay. By nightfall, you guys make it back. You're heading back up north and you're going to cut around. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay. By nightfall, you guys break for the night at camp. And...
Oh no.
I love this background.
background do I even have? This is the forest one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
Vanishing
nice.
Ethan Carter.
It's not the Colbert Report, but... I'm sorry you rolled a 21, Serenity. That should have been good enough. But... Who is taking the second watch tonight? Not Riot.
It's usually Serenity.
Okay. And are we in the tiny hut at night?
Yeah.
Serenity. It's your watch. You're inside the hut, so you know you're relatively safe. The sounds of the forest are all around. There's a light drizzle falling. What bothers you about the egress from the waterfall is that Liberation was clearly attacked by something, but nothing harried you your entire journey back. You guys were being careful. You were being quiet as you could. But you know that if there was an overt attack like that and it was the Druids, they would have been all on you as you came out. And as you're pondering this, you hear a very kind of dull thumping sound. You look over and there's another severed head that has been rolled out from the foliage and bonked up against the side of your tiny hut. And again, it explodes and globules of green goo cover that entire side of the hut, and you see tiny mushrooms sprouting up out of the soil just outside the hut.
This is why we put up huts.
I'll shake Mahogany awake.
Mahogany's awake.
Mahogany, take a look. Is there any magic out there? Another one of those heads hit the hut.
Alright, I'll pop up Detect Magic.
And I mean, you see the opaque magic of the hut all around you. As far as the goo and the mushrooms, not magical.
I'll say it doesn't seem to be magical. It's probably more like a natural thing.
Is there anyone outside with magic creating these heads?
I'm just gonna step in here. I know Brickers, but I don't think Detect Magic pierces the hut.
It might not.
I usually would rule that it does in this case.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't require line of sight or anything, but it only has a 30-foot radius, which
Right.
isn't very much. But no, the only overt magic you feel is from the hut itself.
Yeah.
We can move it. We can move in and out of the hut, right?
Yeah.
You guys can.
As long as Riot allows you to.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna pick up a rock here. Put some light on this. I'll throw it out to where that head came from.
Oh yeah. So what I meant, Rick, was like spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it, which is why I'm not sure if Detect Magic would see anything outside the hut.
I think from the inside, I would still rule that it does. If you're on the outside and you want to know if there's powerful magic being worked inside, I would rule that it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't see a reason to penalize people for being inside the hut for that purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, Serenity, you can absolutely just like toss a rock as long as the rock came from inside the hut.
Yes.
Yeah. So Pierre, put light on this. I'm going to throw it out towards where the head came from.
And I'm gonna look at Serenity. But what on what now?
Light? Isn't that something you can do?
It was your idea to leave Kelian behind.
Let's say that seems more like Riot's wheelhouse these days.
Oh, okay. Guess we
Right.
wake everybody up.
She just hasn't been the same since she found God.
The abuse Riot is taken when she's asleep.
So they kick Riot awake.
Riot, can you put magical light on shit?
No, I'm concentrating. Leave me alone. Just goes back to sleep.
Riot, say that again as if I knew how magic worked.
We might be under attack here.
Oh. Might?
Well, I mean, almost certainly are under attack. I'm not sure if they're still there, though, given that they didn't attack us again after they tried at the waterfall. We most certainly were attacked. The present stance of being attacked or not is indeterminate.
Nothing you're saying makes any sense.
Riot, they threw some shit at us and it blew up.
Okay, that sounds like we're under attack. What do you want?
Put
Yeah.
some light on this. Put some light on this rock.
I can't.
What good is Aasimar?
So what's next?
I'll just take a torch from my bag. I'll be like, you can set this on fire. Serenity, throw this.
Alright. I'll light the torch and throw it as far in the direction as the head came from as I...
And for a split second moment, you think you see movement retreating from the light.
Are we burning down the forest now? Is that our plan?
Nah, this torch isn't enough to set fire to the whole forest.
Yeah.
And if it looked like it was getting real bad, Mahogany would pop his head out and Druid craft that light out.
There's definitely someone out there.
Maybe they'll go away.
How long does the hut last?
I don't know. What time is it?
We're about 2 hours into my watch.
6 more hours, give or take.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, this is the middle watch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you didn't really answer Riot's question. Well, no, I guess you did. I don't know. DM, how much longer does the hut have?
I believe it lasts for 8 hours until morning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. It says till morning.
I mean, what I'm concerned about is there could be 20 of them outside in the morning if there's only 5 now.
Oh. So you want us to pack up stakes and run?
Or fight.
Oh yeah, or fight? Yeah, I guess I'm feeling up to it. How about you, Liberation? Okay.
I got my nap. I'm good.
I don't think Liberation wants to fight.
Liberation is asleep. Nobody woke him up.
That's true. Nobody's done that.
Can Liberation set light to things?
Riot wakes up Liberation and says, hey,
Why?
we all took a vote and it's time to fight.
Such a jerk thing to say.
Oh, good to know. All right. Let's get the. Why wasn't I woken up for? Whatever.
Well, I just did.
Why are you fiddling with my key points?
Because I'm making pretty patterns.
All right.
It's the most perfect state of those points.
All right. Give me a second.
Up and at him. All right, you can have a second, but we don't got much time.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
awake.
Everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Riot drops the hut.
Drops the hut. Riot. Well,
Mhm.
everybody, because you're all there. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I'd really prefer not to.
You have
Is
to.
this
You
against something I can see?
No, it's not. It is not.
Oh, that almost was a 1.
I just need to know
That's
if
a much higher number.
you're only looking for a 12. Did
No,
anybody-
Pass.
I got a 12.
Got a 12. Okay.
I got almost double that.
Almost double that.
I almost rolled a 1 and then it rolled over to 17.
Did Liberation and Serenity pass?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't imagine Liberation not passing a dexterity check that low.
As soon as the hut comes down, Serenity, from a different angle than the first one came, so from a different angle from your torch, another severed head, this time being thrown underhand, so coming at you in an arc, lands in the center of where the hut once was, and again explodes, and all 4 of you dive out of the way. And you hear a voice that you recognize, first of all, as female, and second of all, as Firbolg, having met the Firbolgs far to the south, calls out, "Damn you, stand still!" And you see more movement in that direction as the
Was that
Firbolg...
common?
It was.
Do we have any trouble with the Fearbugs? I'm gonna say
Shut-
the Serenity.
Shout right back. Well, fuck. I don't know what this
Right.
shit does. I'm not gonna stand still for it.
Were
Right,
the
call-
Fearbugs the people who like Serenity?
Yeah, they were. Well, no, I think they liked Serenity because they knew that Swan Maze liked Serenity.
Yeah.
That's kind of the impression that I got later on.
Yeah.
They rubbed some weird shit on Serenity's face, and then they were cool
We're
with her.
friends of the Swan Maze. Stop being a dick.
Everybody can... What is the intention of the group? To fight this person?
What I want to do first is find out if they are part of the Order of the Black Tongue.
Okay.
So I'll just call out to them. Are you with the Black Tongue?
And the response, and shouting from maybe 30 feet away or so, and you can hear is she's moving further away from the torch in a circle around where your hut was. Calls back and says, "No, but I'm trying to figure out if you are."
We're not.
Well,
We're
we
not.
ain't.
We just escaped from them.
Did we?
Well,
Because maybe we just escaped from you.
That's true. Maybe we just. Well, we're not. Point is.
Yeah. Why the explodey severed heads? Just can I get that first, please?
We were trying to figure out what the heck was going on with their river.
The voice comes back that if you're not with the Black Tongue, who are you with?
Swan Maze for now.
What proof have you?
We have their super betrothed over here.
The Furbolgs down there seem to recognize her, so I'm just gonna go get that torch. Don't throw another head at me. I'm gonna go pick up the torch and hold it up so that they can see Serenity's face.
Okay. So you're going to
gonna
leave the
say-
group and go pick up the torch, which is laying about some feet away.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Did they seriously throw a head at me after that? Wow. Fuck this Furbolg.
While he's doing that, I'm going to cast light so that they can see Serenity's face.
Okay.
What?
Wait,
You can
wait.
cast light?
Not on a stone. You asked me to cast it on a stone. I can't.
That's right, because you have the glowfish thing.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
That's a 3.
That's a, actually, I'm trained in dexterity, so I think that's a 9. Still not gonna do it, but...
Mahogany. So you guys watch Mahogany. He says, "Okay, come
Oh
on.
no, I'm not trained in dexterity. I'm
Don't-
very much not.
Don't throw another head at me. I'm going to go pick up the torch." And then Mahogany very carefully goes over to the torch and bends down with his hands showing, like, "Hey, I'm not even armed." I do need to take a break and shout out real quick. Meditative Zebra just gave me a very generous $65 tip.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Zebra.
Oh, that's nice
Oh,
of
yeah.
you.
I'm going to spend it on
Thank you.
ale and whores, as is my want after D&D sessions are over.
Yeah, D&D. Yeah, that's what you do.
After we get our cut.
But, I'm assuming Riot is just cynical enough to see it coming before it comes. Because Mahogany so trustingly says, please don't throw another head at me. And as he's bending down to pick up a torch, another head comes flying out, lands at his feet, and Mahogany, you are covered in this goo, and immediately mushrooms start sprouting up out of your skin. And it doesn't hurt, but they're all coming out your face and your neck and your arm and anywhere you have exposed skin, basically. The good news is you're now holding the torch.
Alright. Mahogany says, like, right, fuck this, and he shapeshifts into a fire elemental.
Okay.
Wow.
And you shapeshift into a fire elemental, and in that split second where your skin is pulling apart and merging into elemental fire, all of the mushrooms get toasted and smolder away, and you hear the exasperated shout, well, if I knew you were going to do that, I wouldn't have thrown it at you.
And in response, in fire elemental is, if you hadn't thrown it at me, I wouldn't have needed to do that. And then Mahogany, at this point, is just an exasperated fire elemental. Like, hands straight up, like...
What is that? What is it? What language is that first?
That would be
It's,
Ignan.
Ignan.
Okay.
I'll look at Serenity and Riot and say, "Are we fighting now? Is that what's happening? Is that what you woke me up for? Are we fighting now?"
Wait, nobody's rolled initiative yet.
Yeah, nobody's rolled.
So right,
That's
you have
So
the,
they can now see Serenity's face.
yeah, you have the glowfish light coming out of your head now.
Everyone can see fucking everything. Mahogany's there.
And a form steps out from the darkness and into the light being given off by Mahogany. And you see a Firbolg woman, bulky like Serenity, like a lot of weight on her, big, heavy bosoms and big jowls and lots of hair. And she's wearing fairly heavy armor, from what you can tell from the other Firbolgs, where typically they would wear light armor made of leathers, skins, and furs. She's not wearing something akin to plate, but it's very delicately made. It certainly wasn't made by Firbolg hands. It looks like metal rings, but they're made to look like interconnecting twigs. And they're adorned with slim metal adornments that look like leaves and flowers on her shoulders and upper arms. And as she comes out of the darkness, you see she's holding in one of her hands another severed head. And she looks at the light and she says, "You're the woman on the Swan Maze tapestry, all right. But for the eye, you'd be the spitting image."
You hear the perplexing sound of fire slapping fire.
And Rod says, "Yeah, that's right. We're here. We came to do a little reconnaissance for the Swan Maid."
She puts the head back into a very heavily laden sack that is sitting next to her in the brush. And when she turns to address the fire elemental, you don't see shock or fear in her eyes as she addresses Mahogany, as she says, "Worry not, the mushrooms mean no harm, they only allow me to see." And then she looks back to Riot and Serenity and Liberation and says, "But I think I see clearly enough. I call you friends."
good. There are
Right,
few in this. There are few in this damned forest that do, and thank you.
What were you doing at the waterfall?
She says that she was there to repay the kindness shown to her by the Swan May recently. That she believes she can get to the root of the evil in the waterfall.
We were just trying to do that ourselves, trying to figure out where the best plan of attack would be.
Then someone threw a head at us.
And she kind of
Yeah,
kicks her sack with her boots. Says, got 6 more of their heads in here.
Oh, those are their heads?
And she holds up her, she pulls a knife from her belt, holds it up to her neck, and kind of mimics slicing across. As far as these druids are concerned, that gets the job done well enough.
Riot whistles appreciatively.
Yeah, that's cool. Macabre, but cool, I guess.
She introduces herself as Midniag.
Mahogany's going to turn off the fire elemental form at this point.
Okay, and all the mushrooms that had sprouted up have been burned away. There's no more there.
Midniag, I'm Liberation. This is Mahogany.
Oh, I know.
Riot.
You all speak quite loudly when you're on the trail.
We do, don't we?
Swear to God, Serenity rolled a 21 stealth and she rolled a 23 perception.
I don't think we spoke that loud. I mean, generally pretty quiet when we want to be.
She says she wasn't just listening to you. She was listening to the blades of grass you trod upon, listening to the bark of trees that you passed.
Usually I can convince those to be quiet, but I guess not this time.
She says, a little apologetically, that you were traveling through these woods, but that she was born to them.
Molded in them.
Mold. Yes, it's time to rewatch that trilogy soon. She asks if you want some of her heads.
Not particularly.
She explains that she has enchanted them with secrets known to the ancient Firbolg witch doctors, that the heads are now growing spores that can sprout mushrooms through which she can look and see, using the same skills that she looks through the trees and the grass.
Ah, clever. Again, macabre, but clever.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the offer, but what would we do with them?
I mean, I could talk to them.
So you said you were looking for trying to repay the Swanmay and doing something about the waterfall. I mean, killing druids is all well and good, and we've done our fair share of it, but is there anything beyond that you're capable of or have ideas about? Like, we're a little bit stymied by the presence of apparently gates that the forest doesn't know about to other worlds.
And this is the first she's heard about that. If you say that, then you know more than she does.
We'd know more, too.
So, but basically, like, does she have any, aside from just killing druids, does she have any plans on?
No,
like, does she have a plan beyond that?
She seems to be just very happy killing druids.
Okay.